Hey everybody, welcome back to Jim's Garage. If you hadn't noticed, I've recently joined BlueSky and I'm really enjoying it over Twitter. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not the world's biggest fan of social media at the best times, but for somebody who makes tin pot YouTube videos, it's a good way to garner some audience and also to interact with some potential vendors, sponsors, etc. Now, my key motivation was primarily just to branch out onto another platform, but also because I was becoming increasingly tired with Twitter, aka X, because of all the vitriol and the adverts and the various gumph that you see rammed down your throat. Now, this is not a political stance, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I was just finding X was becoming too much of just this nonsense that I couldn't navigate. BlueSky, on the other hand, seems to be a lot better, but I do have my hesitations. As soon as more people migrate over, it becomes more popular. I'm really interested to see how they keep it as it is. At current, they have no subscription model, which is interesting from a monetization standpoint, but that will change in the near future, apparently. But anyway, let's get on to the topic of this video. So if you're looking to head over to BlueSky, you probably want to be able to set up your own username. Now, you can do that quite handily if you have your own domain. This means that instead of @ and then it will say BlueSky Social, you could actually have your domain. So I could have me or Jim at jimsgarage.co.uk, and that looks much better, looks more professional, and it's basically their version of Blue Tick, albeit it's free currently. So let's have a quick look now how we can set that up, and if you've got a BlueSky account and a domain, why not take advantage of it? Let's hop over now and get this configured. Now, as I mentioned, you are going to require a domain for this to work. Now, I really like Cloudflare. I think they have good prices. They don't scalp you each year. Plus, they have a load of technologies alongside it. Things like their proxies and their Cloudflare tunnels, which you can make use of. Now, you can buy a domain anywhere, and I generally advise you go to any domain registrar, find the one that you want or is acceptable, and you can always transfer it to Cloudflare. So, for example, if it's cheaper at Namecheap or GoDaddy, buy it there and then transfer it here. But effectively, to get this to work, you simply need to click on search for domains, and you just need to type in here what you want. So I could put in, for example, Jim's Garage. Let's see what it comes up with. You can see that I can get domains for as cheap as $7.50 a year, and it renews at 10.11. Or any other permutation. You can basically scroll down to anything you want, anything that looks sensible. Basically confirm that, buy that domain, and once you've got it, you'll be able to manage it. That gets us on to the next step. You'll obviously need to have a BlueSky account. So over here you can see my BlueSky account, and it basically looks like a cleaned up version of X without any of the ads. Now, a big plug for the big switch. It's coming soon, a video on that shortly. So to get all this working together, we need to go into settings. We need to click on our account. As you can see here, it's at jimsgarage.bsky.social. We want to change that. So we want to click on account, and then we want to click on handle. So click handle. Now the next step, ignore this for now, is I have my own domain. So when we click this, it's going to generate this text here. Now, this is a TXT, a text record that you need to add to your domain registrar. So what that means is basically this piece of text here is going to be unique. Don't worry, it's not private, but it's unique to your account. So my account here on BlueSky. Now, when I add that to my domain, the only way I can add this record to my domain is if I own that domain. So basically, BlueSky will trust that I own that domain because I've added this secret piece of text that nobody else knows. Once we've added that and saved it, which we'll do in a moment, we'll then be able to do, say, a DNS challenge whereby BlueSky will go away to the domain I want it to use, and it will say, hey, where is this piece of text? If it finds it on that domain, they're happy that I own the domain and therefore I can use it as my handle. So now we've got that copied, I'm going to head back over to Cloudflare, which is my domain registrar, and I'll add this information. If you've got a different domain registrar, you'll have to do this through that domain registrar. But the process should be pretty simple. Just check for any buttons, but essentially what you want to do is a text record. So now I've logged into my Cloudflare, and as you can see here, I've got some domain records that are pre-existing. What I need to do is to add a new record. So if I click add record here, what I need to do is to change the type. I need that to be a text record. So if we scroll down to the bottom, we should see TXT. I can put the time to live, whatever I want here. I could put a minute if I want. And then we need to paste in the context, which is what we saw earlier. So the content is this here. Actually, it shouldn't be an at. This should be at ATProto. You can see that down at the bottom. So if I copy that, go back, paste that in here. We've now got a text record for _ATProtocol.jimsgarage.co.uk, and it's going to provide that code that they gave us on BlueSky. So now hopefully if I hit save, that should save okay. You can see now that it's at the top there. And do bear in mind that DNS propagation can take some time. It's not exactly a science. It depends how quickly that will propagate across. So do be patient. But when you're ready, let's see if this works almost immediately. We can head back to BlueSky and we can verify the DNS record. So enter the domain you want to use. So I'm going to use jimsgarage.co.uk. Now, when I click verify, it's basically going to do a DNS lookup for Jim's Garage, and hopefully that record is there. Let's see what happens. It probably won't work because I'm doing this in real time. Oh, the domain is verified. So we're going to update now to jimsgarage.co.uk. Now that that has been verified, it might take a little while for this to actually be reflected within BlueSky itself. So I'm going to wait a little bit. I'll skip ahead and I'll tell you how long this took. So I've just gone back now to my profile, and that was actually in real time. So this has taken what, 3-4 minutes, something like that to do. And now you can see I've got Jim's Garage at jimsgarage.co.uk. So maybe I'm going to go back and edit that and just create my name as Jim, something like that. So now you can see that I'm Jim at jimsgarage.co.uk. So I'll have to go and update now my YouTube records, etc. But I think that looks a little bit more professional. So hopefully now you have everything you need to be able to tweak your BlueSky account using your domain and have a username that's more befitting. Anyway, as always, if you like this video, give it a like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.